Hi, hello, and welcome to the third episode of Jam Ladies. I am your host, Amanda, and I'm here with some of the regular ladies.
Laura,
Zach,
and Mimi.
And we're missing Irene, but don't worry, she's not been sucked into a void or anything. She is just currently out on the town with her amazing parents, and we'll be back next week. Anyway, how are we, ladies?
cold.
Cold?
it's still
Extremely
cold.
hot in
It's
here.
just like windy. It's like my hair was like.
Yeah, she showed up to our house like dripping. She's like, I'm so cold. So I made her some hot tea.
Yeah, thank you for the tea. That tastes like champagne.
We should point out that of all the Jam Ladies, 4 of them come from tropical climates and 1 of them does not. So we, us tropical, it's 33 degrees in Manila right now. It's spring, right?
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to get used to. I think it's autumn because obviously I'm
Your
so I
body's
keep
blocked.
I'm like, oh, this is autumn weather, but no, it's spring weather apparently. I'm
Pollen.
Pollen. I thought you were talking about Poland. I'm like, why are we talking about Poland? Great, I'm so glad we're on the Johnny's track this evening. We're talking about Poland.
Having an old lady conversation.
How's the weather,
What's
guys?
the temperature over there?
It's because we're old people. Anyway, does anyone have any news before I get into the news that's not the group?
I got a French horn. I played the French horn when I was in elementary school and middle school and through part of high school. So I had been wanting to play it again, but it's an obscenely expensive instrument to buy. So I was thinking that if I was going to buy one, I should take lessons. And then when I Googled lessons, I found a music tutor company that will give you an instrument if you sign up for a year's worth of lessons. So I actually did have to pay for my French horn because it's an obscenely expensive instrument. And it's actually the longest instrument in the orchestra. So I don't remember any of the fingerings for anything, but when we were in Tokyo, I found sheet music for Omoidama and the brass band version of King of Otoko, which is wonderful. So I'll try to play that once I remember how to play any notes.
Oh my god, my head just turned into how will a French horn sound for my Mookie scream.
Can I point out that the brass band score of Amoidama was actually the freebie you got with the single? Like they just, you bought the single and then they gave it to you. So I guess they really wanted like high schools and stuff to play it. Yeah. And that single has the most hilarious version of King of Otoko. Yeah, it's like the brass band version.
The music for that is in the Omoidama score, yeah. Oh, I meant to put that actually in our news that Toriki's stock is going down.
You know what?
So we all have to worry about
bird royalty. Chicken royalty.
Chicken man.
No more Balenciaga.
He'll have to buy it at all those wanky hypebeast used shops. Yeah. He can buy and Luga.
He has to go on AliExpress.
But then when I went there like 2 weeks ago, there's still a line. So they're closing one store and then like 2 weeks after another store opens in another. It's just a near place near that store that they closed, and I think
it's probably rent.
No, maybe that's
There's one near our house that is like you have to walk through 7 million bikes and an Indian restaurant and down like these stairs of death.
I think it's also an issue of labor costs. I think it's not just them that's hit hard by that.
Yeah, but they have Oba-chan's skewering chicken in the afternoon, paying 980 yen per hour.
They pay well though for Japan. Like that's one of their big things. That's what they're known for. All right, now it's time for news, not the group. So last week we talked about Yoko having a butai, which is very exciting. At the time we didn't have dates, but now we have a schedule. It will be called Hokusai Manga, and it will be running at the Tokyo Globe from June the 9th all the way through to July the 7th. So it's only going to be in Tokyo at the Globe, and it's probably going to have some terrible novelty attached to it, as we discussed last week. So there's no more news there other than we have balloted. You can only ballot for 2 tickets. Whether we're going to hit is a whole nother kettle of fish. We probably won't, but we'll talk about more reselling and stuff later in this episode. Now, let's
What?
I don't even know how to start this part. Last night, Laura, myself, and Zach saw Shonentachi, the movie. And I am very unaware of juniors. I'm very unaware of anything to do with juniors. I only know debuted groups. And 2 minutes before the film, I found out the plot and that it was a musical.
Sorry.
Yeah. We're walking down like to the theater with our popcorn. Well, I had popcorn. And Zach is like, yeah, it's a musical. And we're just like, what?
I've seen the Batay twice, so it's like...
Yeah. So,
Laura.
to run down the plot, I guess, it starts out, the reason we were seeing this is because Yoko is in it. So it starts out and the shot is like it's in an airplane. And there's a kid who's like, oh, Otosan, that's that building, isn't it, where you used to work? And you hear Yoko's voice being like, yes, it is, using my acting voice, which is weirdly breathy. And am I wrong? And you see there's like a cane in the seat pocket. So it's like, is Yoko an old man? Like, we're just like, oh my God, what's happening? So there's this really long and OTT dance sequence and song.
Fight dance
Yeah,
sequence.
yeah. There's some dance fighting because they talk about like how like blue and red are at war and have always been at war and et cetera, and
with no reason.
because they're blue and red. They've been conveniently sorted into gangs. So they're like, we're at war and we've always been at war, and we're rapping and we're introducing each member's name, and there's so many dramatic shots, and also the editing is really bad.
Really
I
bad.
got dizzy.
And there's there's all these like group dance numbers, and they kept the sounds of their feet in, like the stomping. And it seems like it's like trying to be cool, but
in sync with the music.
it's like it's not very well done. Like
it honestly just sounded like they would put some music over a guy cleaning a room
There you go.
or something. Like it was just
it's like
weird
pom,
shuffling.
boom.
Like if they had have mic'd up their feet or something, or like done Foley later, it would have sounded really cool.
Yeah.
But it was literally just the dry sound from them
It's
room.
not in
doing
sync
the
with
filming.
music.
Yeah. And then putting the music over the top. So it was just, it was really, and there was like this weird like iMovie not rendered correctly title screen. And I was just inwardly screaming
Yeah, the
at
editing
the
was
editing.
really bad.
Technical
Really
stuff.
bad.
Yoko shows up, and we're like, why are you loping around like that?
Yeah, no, because he's like, he walks in. No, he walks in and he goes up these like rickety Japanese looking stairs. Like anyone who's been to Japan knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, he's like walking really weird. Are they really weird stairs? It was really weird.
Yeah, and then he like does some acting voice, and he's like, there are strong people in the world and weak people in the world, and the strong stand on top of the weak. And it's like, okay, getting a little bit intense here. And then cut to Yoko literally beating the shit out of these teenagers with his baton.
That's what I want to point out. This film is incredibly violent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they show the dad hanging himself.
Yeah.
They show Yoko, like, beating the shit out
Wailing
of
on
the
some
kids.
kids.
Like, it's not like,
You remember the scissors?
No.
Yeah, the scissors.
Oh, yeah. There's like a scissor
I
stabbing.
mean, there's even fucking yo-yos used for violence. Like, it's just... It's really violent.
Yeah.
And they all show their backstories, except for Shintaro, who's just dumb at maths or something. Like, that's his whole story.
He doesn't have a koseki.
Yeah, whatever. And they ran out of time, I think.
Yeah.
And one of the kids, like, drags this guy who did him wrong at school. Like, he took money from him.
He's bullying him.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was, like,
bullying him
bullying
and, like,
him.
taking his money.
And so he puts a rope around him and then drags him around behind his moped.
Oh, yeah, and so then you get, like, a flashback of Yoko, like, I guess at another juvenile facility where he worked at, and he's, like, being beaten by some of the juveniles. And that explains why he has a limp.
It did not explain. I honestly...
No, it explains the limp.
It
Yeah,
does.
because he got kicked
Which
in
he
the
really
knee.
badly acts the entire time.
Because the way it was sandwiched in, because they were making fun of him and his lips and stuff like that. Which
This is so...
which I'm like, okay, fair game, like making fun of Yoko's lips, but like it was sandwiched in such a way, like he was such a shit to them, and he like pulls them out, and he gives them all this shit about having personal things, and one of the guys, his girlfriend's pregnant, and he's like, oh yeah, you're having a baby, well you don't need this,
You can't be a dad. You're in juvie.
And so it like cut to him being beaten up, and I read it as they were having like a revenge fantasy that they were beating him up, because Yoko's limp was not consistent.
That's no way consistent
all.
in the whole movie. It's like,
it's
what?
not great.
It only really, it's like, oh, he's walking up those stairs weirdly. And like there's a part where he actually, like, we're not going to spoil the movie for the most part. We're just picking on the things that were most hilarious. But there's just one part where he oddly like falls into a room, and you're like, what's up, bro? And then Laura's like, oh, he's got the limp. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Everybody, like, half of them die.
And at the very end.
And then at the end, it's like we go back to the beginning where we were on the airplane with Yoko and this kid who's calling him Otosan.
So
And
he found a kid.
and they go into the jail, and it's been converted into
The Globe.
basically the Tokyo Globe Theater. And there's just this like fucking Junior's Palooza extravaganza
Even
with
I
these
was-
really confused looking white people in the audience. And so Yoko's there with his kid.
And he's wearing an old man hat.
Yeah, he's wearing like a jaunty fedora.
To remind you he's an old man.
And then he's sitting on the park bench, like, reminiscing. And
Look at the
the
pictures
kid
of kids.
brings him, like, a notebook that's, like, a bunch of drawings of all the
Kids in
boys
Get Up.
who Yoko was beating with his stick. And he's looking through it like, oh, fun
good times."
memories. Oh, so nice. And, like, we're just like, and then he dies. It's like he's just looking at it, and he gets to the page with June, and then he just slumps over and becomes motionless. And then the
The
kid
kids-
comes in and is like, oh, Tosan! And then it's like fade to black, and we're like, did Yoko die? Oh my god, it
And then
was
it goes-
so weird. And then it goes into like outtakes from like recordings of the songs, and you can catch glimpses of Richard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Richard is there.
was there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Richard was
That's
there.
a back
That was the
dance.
most important thing. And I screamed. And when the lights went up, I think because you know, if we'd gone to see this film, say in the West or, you know, like in Manila or whatever, the crowd would be active, like clapping when their favorites came on. Like if it was a One Direction movie or something, right?
Yeah.
So we were quite excited, you know. And so I saw Richard and I screamed. I didn't like scream. No one get me wrong. I'm not that person in a movie, but I went, oh, Richard.
I just miss the parts where they're like they're shirtless and they have a shower scene in the butay, but it's not included in the movie. But it was, for me, it was a delight as a Juniors fan. It's a delight to see Six Tones being that way, having their own musical movie. Like, just, yeah. You
I'm
saw
sure
my
it
video.
was made for them.
Yeah, you
with
saw
very little budget.
Yeah.
As someone who doesn't know a lot about Six Tones or Snowman or Juniors or anything, we went because obviously, you know, Zach, we had to make sure she didn't crawl into the screen or something. So it was...
Yoko was there.
And Yoko was there. And Totsu from Ebi
Oh, you
was
didn't
there.
give your feels about Totsu.
Yeah, because we're going to get into Ebi in a second. But I didn't hate it. I actually...
Yeah, I had fun.
We accidentally bought tickets twice. We bought tickets for the wrong day, and then... So we're probably not going to see it again because I don't want to waste another...
I'm going to see it again.
Yeah. I imagine you're going to see it 150 times just quietly. And then the DVD and the Blu-ray and the...
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't hate it. Like, it was really just a big, dumb musical. And sometimes you just really need a big, dumb musical. And it was so gay.
Oh, man.
Jazz
I really
hands.
shipped Joe and
Jazz hands. The
Yo-Yo
other
guy.
Yo-Yo guy.
Yeah, there was this whole, like,
face.
yo-yo
It was-
love song.
It was really
I can't,
shippy.
yeah, like Mimi's face is saying it all, but I can't give you context to the yo-yo dance.
You need
Like,
to
you'll
see it, guys. You need to
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
it.
so when it comes out on DVD, we will be doing a giveaway
Yay!
of some Shonentachi goods for you guys. So make sure you keep an eye on the Twitter for that. ABCZ! ABCZ. So
Black Sugar.
it's actually been a really quiet week because Zach didn't say, I hope we have an exciting week this week.
I said
ABCZ this week also released their sixth single as a debut group, Black Sugar. I really like it. I got all three versions and Amazon bombarded me with freebies. I would really recommend this song to anyone. It's a little bit different, Black Sugar. I was a little bit worried when I was reading the lyrics and there was a line that said, I can't stop my black pain. And there was all these allusions to caramel and stuff. And I was like, okay, Laura, fluent Japanese speaker, can you please tell me that this isn't some weird racial thing, but it is just about... Black sugar is what they call brown sugar here in Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just an analogy for a very bitter kind of love, I guess. I can't stop my black pain. There's no... I'm just going to put that in the Johnny's file of dodgy things that perhaps
Welcome to the
happened.
board of Dark Moonlight Night.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing that really threw me, across the three singles, there's actually three B-sides, which is really unusual for Johnny's. There's ABCZ with Love, a song called Showtime, and another one called Ine. So I was like, okay, ABC with Z with Love is obviously going to be a stereotypical ABCZ song. And then I found out it was written by Joey Lawrence. I'm showing my age here. Joey Lawrence was one of the... he was
The lyrics too.
No, he didn't write a Japanese person did.
Yeah.
Joey Lawrence doesn't speak Japanese. I was kind of a bit, whatever. This sounds like a bunch of Swedish people wrote it, which is pretty standard with Japanese songs. And
And all
then,
the pop songs of the world.
Exactly, yeah. They all come from Sweden. And I was like, as the song kept going on, I was like, yeah, this is really arranged really well. I really, really like it. And then I saw who wrote it and I Googled it with like Joey Lawrence with ABCZ. And he did fucking write it. I'm just like, I'm blown away. It's like two worlds merging. But the other two songs are whatever. Overall, the single's pretty great. I would recommend picking it up. But get the version with ABCZ with love so you can get that.
And Showtime.
All right, so
Okay.
that's the news for this week. There really wasn't much going on.
Yeah, we were able to give our review of Shonentachi.
Kiss My, I hit for Kiss My.
Oh,
Yeah, Kiss My results came out, and
I'm watching their final show here in Osaka.
That's pretty exciting.
Nice.
The album will be released end of April.
It's called Free Hugs.
Free hugs. So they need to deliver, guys. They need to deliver.
They're going to hug every single person.
Well,
All right, so welcome to episode 3 of Gem Ladies. Today we are going to talk you through the Kanjani 8 concert experience. A lot of these tips and tricks that we are going to impart on you today can be used for all Johnny's groups interchangeably.
yeah, there you go.
Because they're all pretty interchangeable. As a lot of you know, a lot of the foreign fans are aware, getting into Johnny's is quite difficult. They don't have a presence online. They don't have a YouTube presence except for Island TV.
And the John's Jr. channel.
And the Johnny's Jr. channel. So it's incredibly difficult to quote unquote get into Johnny's, let alone join the fan club, let alone get tickets. So we are going to give you a few tips and tricks today about how to get tickets if you are a foreign fan or if you're a little bit confused about how the system works. We also want to dispel some rumors and confirm some rumors,
Yeah.
especially about addresses and being careful about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Just a quick disclaimer before we go any further. Every experience is different. Some of this will work for you. Some of it will not work for you. Some of it will work for us. Some of it will not work for us. This is all a crapshoot. This is just a bunch of people shooting the shit about their experiences in buying tickets for Johnny's. Some of this stuff may be deemed slightly illegal. In the past, it was definitely illegal, but things have changed. So the number one thing we just want to say is we are not liable for any experiences you may have. This is just anecdotal. It's stuff that has happened to us. It's stuff that we believe to be true. If you need any more advice, feel free to DM us. We will not be buying tickets for anyone. That might sound harsh, but it's an incredibly stressful situation to be put into. And most of all, just be careful. That's the number one thing if you're buying tickets outside of the quote-unquote system. Please be careful. So let's get into it.
All right. So
On our doc, we have JFC, which I always read as Jesus fucking
Christ. Same.
Johnny's Family Club.
Jesus fucking Christ. Johnny's Family Club. So, actually, nowadays, you can ballot on the internet. I know.
No more for the Call Me song.
I know. So
Sheets, oh my god, writing.
I remember. So actually, this is an interesting story. My last name has an N in it. For obviously, I'm not going to say my last name on the podcast, but let's say it's Anderson. And in Japanese, the character N and the character Sol in katakana, like the alphabet used or the writing system used to write foreign words, N and So look very similar. And so when you signed up for the fan club back in the day, 10 years ago when I came to Japan, you had to handwrite everything on a bank transfer form.
Yes.
So I had to write my name.
You still had to do this in 2012.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I
2015.
I wanted to make sure that, I was doing it right. So I made sure to write it in katakana instead of using English letters. So I wrote Laura. So let's say if Anderson was my name, I would have written Anderson Laura. But because of my handwriting maybe not being that clear, my name was registered in my fan club membership as Asonda-san Laura or Asoda-san Laura. So I had that fan club membership for quite a while, and then I accidentally I lost my renewal slip or something. So last year actually that membership lapsed. It was actually a UNJ fan club
There you go.
membership.
Oh,
Your
that's
legacy
I know,
membership.
I know.
Yeah,
My legacy
You have a
membership,
lot- you
and
have a lot of
it's gone now. So,
privilege.
These days, things are much different. You can actually join online, and then you can pay.
however,
What's however?
you can't pay.
You cannot pay, no.
Online.
They still don't know what a credit card is. And so you do have to still use the Footy Commerce system, or you can use something called Pay Easy.
Face easy and
Yeah.
then
Do you
change the
have to
post.
have a Japanese address?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
and a phone number actually.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's a big question that I think a lot of people ask. Like if you punch it into Google, that comes up a lot. You do have to have a Japanese address to be a member of the fan club. And the thing about addresses, they recently revised their ticketing system and their ticketing rules. And basically you can have as many fan clubs as you want at one address. So we have quite a few at this address, but only one, if you ballot for the same concert, only one of those fan clubs will hit for tickets. So just say every fan club in this house, so we have 4 memberships, and we all balloted first choice for June the 1st in Osaka. If we hit, only one of those addresses will actually...
Only one of those memberships.
Yeah, will actually spit out tickets. So I don't know how the system works. Maybe it matches addresses. So if it spits out 2 hits, it automatically deletes one. I'm not sure. So that just gives you an idea of how it is here in Japan. There is absolutely no foundation behind the idea that foreign names get shittier seats.
No.
So please don't think that using your name in Romaji, using your name in katakana,
Who's quota?
using your name in katakana or Romaji, that's going to get you a better seat. We have had arena, we have had moon seats, we have been all
a
over the
random
damn
thing.
planet.
Yeah.
So the price system is pretty standard. It is 5,000 yen to join. It's a 1,000 yen joining fee and a 4,000 yen membership fee, I guess. And you renew every year for 4,000 yen. What we really need to stress is, how do I say this in a nice way? You are pretty much flushing your money down the toilet.
Yeah.
When you join the fan club, you don't get a lot of perks per se. What it entitles you to is 4 fan club bulletins a year. You get the ability to ballot for anything that is related to your group. And you also have the ability to participate in live
Filmings.
recordings. Yeah, filming.
And if you also pay for Johnny's Web access, you are able to see the photos
from
of their
Johnny's Web.
faces
Yeah, you can see
on
their faces.
Johnny's Web.
Yes.
Oh,
If you have friends in Japan, yes, have friends in Japan.
That's a bad thing.
this is our hot jam ladies hot tip. Have friends in Japan.
Yes, have friends in Japan if you do not live in Japan. Because I do not have a Japanese address. Oh, now I do. Because I'm using a cousin's address and another membership that our Hinatan friend is maintaining is at my aunt's in Chiba. So we're just using different
If you have
addresses. But mostly, even the renewals, my friend does it for me.
There you go.
You cheap bitch. I
I'm
can't
not
say
gonna be
anything
helpful
'cause
this episode.
I feel like some of my best tickets have been attached to your name. So
Yeah, well,
I'm like,
my
whatever.
ticket-
Yeah, I
Liz.
feel like I've got a couple of tickets with your name on them
Yeah.
in my file.
And it's like, thanks, Mimi.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mimi's cousin.
So yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, it's a challenge to join FJFC and to get tickets and go from getting the membership to into the process of getting tickets is another ball game. It's like,
They also do give you. I know I saw a lot of people who were kind of freaking out when the concert was the tour. Was announced. If you join now, you can still ballot.
Yeah.
Because they've changed the system now.
balloting
You
now.
actually get your number instantaneously. It comes in your
Yeah.
email. So you can actually for that very reason. So good job, Johnny's for
Like, the funny thing is like, if you ballot now and you pay within, like, the moment you pay,
Yeah, as
It
soon
is
as you
also
pay,
pay
you get
the-
the email, and it's
Yeah,
like, oh
you
my
get your
yeah,
god.
even the membership, you get the email
Yeah.
confirmation,
Yeah.
so it's okay. It's just that you need to wait for the announcement to be made and what day, so you have a specific time frame to ballot, actually.
yeah.
And each FCs have different rules also of balloting, like Arashi, and we've discussed the Arashi balloting
Yeah, we
before.
talked about that last week.
So with Conjaniate, I'm not really sure if they're gonna get the same system as what Arashi's doing right now.
I don't think so.
With
They're
being
not.
strict with membership, and you need to they will have a lot 10 hours to just verify your identity.
So basically, you ballot for a ticket, and then something comes out which is called Play Guide if it's a butai, or Ticket Peer is probably the more predominant one. And these are kind of like general access tickets, so they're for people who don't have fan club memberships. Because when you hit, you're given a certain amount of time to pay for the ticket. And if you don't pay for the ticket, one of two things happens. You either forfeit the ticket, or you are also banned for a certain amount of time. So that's something that you should keep in mind, that if you ballot for a ticket, ensure that you do have the money set aside for the ticket to pay for it. Because,
I once actually, when I went to Greatest in Fukui because of they did like a second round
Yeah,
of
they balloting.
of tickets. So like,
ATIS?
yeah,
ATIS.
Oh,
ATIS, not
It's like
Greatest.
greatest?
Sorry, ATIS.
You weren't here last week.
ATIS.
Fukui?
I
Did
don't
you
know.
disappear and I didn't notice?
I don't know
Like-
what anything is. They need to have more different names for the things that they do instead of like Kanjani's Entertainment, Kanjani's Entertainment Jam,
Entertainment Jam.
8ist, Greatest, 15ist. I don't know. Anyway, so I went to 8ist in Fukui, and it was a thing where
Reballoting.
I got an email that was like I had already found out that I didn't hit, and then I got an email that was like, you've hit because a bunch of people didn't pay for their tickets.
I also got an experience, not with Kanjani, but with Kiss My Dad. They said that they rearranged the sitting arrangement and there are extra seats. So if you live in Osaka and you have a credit card to pay, they're allowing that, and you can reballot for those seats.
So they're not as much of an evil corporation as we make them out to be. So
And there's actually complimentary tickets, but I know each member will have like a number of tickets per tour only to give out to their family and
it's so-
friends.
fucking hell, Maru, where's my free ticket?
No, and because it's not really Johnny's, but then I have a friend who has someone knows in Exile, and then they get complimentary tickets, but they're not free. You still need to pay for it.
What?
Yes, you
they're
still need to pay for
complimentary.
it. So yeah,
That's how Hiro makes his money.
well, I think for Johnny's,
Weto Aya, that's what keeps her in handbags.
I think it's the same with Johnny's, that even if you have guaranteed tickets, but then you still need to pay.
Who pays? So like if Amanda got a ticket from Maru, does Maru pay or
Amanda
does
Maru
Amanda
pay for it?
pay?
Amanda needs to pay in the ticket booth.
The regular price?
Yes.
Fucking.
Can
It's just like reserved tickets.
Yeah,
Reserve
right,
tickets,
I
yeah.
guess.
Can I talk about something completely different for a second?
Uh-huh.
I'd like to tell the world a story. So when Subaru put in his resignation, the timeline seems to be he put it on a Tuesday. The press conference was on a Sunday. And one of my really close friends, she loves Bruno Mars, like absolutely adores him. And she went to Tokyo to see him live, and she had arena, like the full 9 yards, because it was just a standard system where you could just buy tickets like in the West, which was really interesting to me and really interesting to her as a Japanese person. But she was sitting in a specific spot, and there was kind of all this kerfuffle happening, and it was kind of distracting her from what was happening on stage, what Bruno was doing. And she turns around and she sees Kanjani 8 in the like the pit, the dig out pit at Tokyo Dome, basically just pissed out of their heads, like very, very drunk, and all just dancing their lives away.
Uptown Funk.
Yeah, they really got into Uptown Funk, and she said that Okura was terrible at the Uptown Funk dance, but no one's surprised. But they were very drunk, and they were very happy, and so, I mean, you know, there's that. And through corroboration on Twitter, it seems what actually happened was that Subaru bought general admission tickets for all of them and invited them along because he was like, oh, I love this music. This is the type of music I want to do when I leave. And so they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. Let's all go along, you know. Otoko kai, like, you know, hang out together. And so they were in the general stands, all 7 of them, and people started to notice who they were. And one Twitter user who mysteriously had to delete everything, I wonder why, she said that she was sitting there and she was like, she wasn't a Kanjani fan, but she was like, oh, that's Kanjani 8. And all of a sudden these staff and security members came out of nowhere and they're like, sumimasen, you cannot be here. And they're all like looking at her like, what? Why can't we be here? And they're like,
who's talking?
We're just talking. We're just here as friends. You can't be here. Like, that's like she was getting really intense with them and like bowing and like getting really quite cross, like angry, like you have to get the fuck out of here because
famous.
People are starting to notice who you are. And they're like, but we want to watch the concert. And they're like, that's fine. We're going to put you in the VIP area. Just hurry up. And so they ended up, I think, giving 7 tickets to people who were waiting outside or something. Like they gave them to the security staff and people were able to fill those seats. But there you go. That's a nice story about leaving. That they were all on pretty good terms. Yeah. And Okura can't do
Uptown Funk.
He can't do this. Okay, so the big topic and the one that the disclaimer was mostly related to is, of course, our good friend, the resale.
Yeah. Good luck with Arashi resales this year.
Yeah, good luck with that system. How things are working now, we were a little bit reluctant with the new system, the QR system that Kanjani has adopted. But oddly, it works out okay because you can manage to pick up a ticket. If you're near a family mart or something in order to pay for it, you can pick up a ticket for like 3,000 yen. 5 minutes before the concert.
Yeah.
As long
people
as you
drop
don't
their prices.
Yeah, because people keep dropping their prices. Mimi and I had an interesting experience with our Hinatan. There's a lot of...
rules.
When you are buying on these websites, I'm not going to name them. You guys are adults. You can find them yourself. But just be careful with the stipulations that are attached to the tickets, mainly because you have to go into the building with these people. So if you are with them and you call attention or... God knows what other reasons, they can have their fan club shut down. So everyone is a little bit more wary about who they accept money from. And so Mimi and I, we were in Fukuoka with our Hinatan, and we were told, 2 days before?
Yeah, I think so.
About 2 days before, that the person we were meeting for tickets had actually said no foreigners. So that is a big thing. A lot of them will say no foreigners just for the clear reason that you bring too much attention.
And I think they're probably worried that they can't communicate.
That too, yeah.
Which is like, if you say no foreigners in Japanese and you're worried that the person can't understand Japanese, your disclaimer isn't going to do you very much good because they can't understand it, but...
Whatever. So we were kind of like, I don't know, do you want to take it from here, Mimi?
Was it the first day when they chose? They had 2, they hit twice.
That was like, they had 12 people, remember? No, so Mimi and I, we, basically our Hinatan said to us, shut the fuck up. So don't say anything. And I'm like, cool, Mimi's a Filipina. I'm a white-ass Russian bitch. like, are we gonna put a pair of sunglasses on me? Like, what's the plan here, Stan? And she's like, oh, you're just my Russian cousin. That's what it is. And Mimi's from Japan. Basically what happened was we met up with the other people, and then it was a case of like, which are the better tickets?
Yeah.
You know, who, like, there was even like a conversation, oh, you're this person's fan, this is their vantage point, let's sit in this.
Yeah.
And then we sat with, who did we sit with? I can't even remember now. I think it was just us, right?
Yeah, just us.
Yeah. So they hit, she must have hit for 3 threes. Like 3 threes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because I had you crying and then I had the Subaru fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that it works now with the QR codes, you don't know where your seats are going to be the day, like, until you walk in and it spits out a ticket, which they hand to you face down. I think to stop people...
Supernova next to the door.
I think to stop people from being a supernova next to the door and, like, you know, freaking out right at the doorway. So you have to, like, walk in and then you turn it over. But yeah, basically most of the time if you're going to be buying from resale websites, it's people who have hit for too many tickets. So you go in and they choose the best seats and then they hand you whatever seats they hand you.
So you could be on the moon, you could...
Yeah.
I think in our case, we had pretty good tickets, actually.
Yeah.
So they must have been closer. They might have been...
Yeah,
who
like,
knows?
they choose based on their own preference. So it's like, this might be stands, but it's right in the center, or it's by the gangplank, or it's, you know, on this side or that side or whatever. So...
There are just some venues that still you know specifically if you're gonna be on the moon or on arena. Like for example, Tokyo Dome, the 20 plus gates. You can see actually 3 days before the concert. You can see the dates or the gates that you're gonna go into.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Tokyo Dome, specifically in Tokyo Dome, because the only access to the heaven seats are on
I see what you're saying.
20
I like
and
what you're
above.
doing now.
Yeah, but for
20
arena,
and above. For
they-
arena, usually
yeah.
it's gate 25, the one below at
Yeah,
the
but they
back.
change
Yeah,
it around.
24,
that.
22,
So
24.
if you want to just see the show and get cheap ones like less than a Ichiman or 10,000 yen, just choose the ones with the 20 plus, and they're gonna 3 days before people will just nitpicky and pick it out and just put it in ticket websites just to sell it for cheap. Because
The major reseller website does accept PayPal, but it does not accept PayPal for QR codes. So if you are going to a Kanjani concert, it won't help you.
But for butais,
But for butais, we went to a
we
butai.
saw Yasu.
We did see Yasu. We got resale tickets.
PayPal.
4th row, bitch.
And
And-
Sakamoto.
And Sakamoto.
Yara.
That's actually the one I want to bring up. We went to see
Topuhato.
Top Hat with Sakamoto from V6 and Tabe Mikako. She's beautiful in real life.
Oh my
And we
God.
were in 2nd row, and the woman sent us the tickets with a note that was like, I'm devastated. I cannot go to this. She didn't say why she couldn't go, but obviously an emergency had come up or whatever. And she's like, please have the best time. Please, know that I'm there with you. Yeah. V6 fighting. I don't know. Like that was a really nice experience, I think, was getting that. But most of the time they go through the ticket center and then you end up getting the tickets. that way.
just some more experience. I just a little bit for that website and other ticket reselling websites. You have an option to actually buy tickets where you don't need to meet with the sellers, and they send you their logins for their fan club members,
if
and
they
you
have
can.
their-
So if you're conscious about that, you can get those kinds of tickets and just enter at your own risks.
Yeah.
And be good to your resellers. Just one of the
Yeah.
things. And one of the what we did last time is that we gave them omiyage from my friend who's from outside Japan, and it's like they gave us good seats. We are the first one who gets to pick our seats because like we were kind enough to actually interact with them. So be good with them, and also With those things, like, just be careful with the details that they actually write in the website.
Yeah.
I was lucky
Yeah.
enough to go with to a concert with actually one of the kids in Takumai. It's the
Which
mother.
one was he?
He was
Nishiki.
Nishiki.
Nishiki, the kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one in Takumai, and he's like, it's just so lucky that randomly I bought this ticket and it's him. So yeah, good.
Yeah, you'll meet some really nice people.
Yeah.
Just be cool. Say hello to the people next to you. You can learn a couple of words in Japanese. You can learn how to say who's your favorite member, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the other thing with websites we're not naming, Google Translate is not your friend.
Uh-huh.
Just
there's a
be
lot
careful with that.
Be very careful. There are a lot of slang terms and fandom specific
yeah.
terms that they use.
Ego, remember?
Don't bring no cream.
Yeah, no cream. That was a weird one because there's just these weird.
That was just a typo.
Yeah, I think it was just a typo.
Yeah.
And again, if there's a ticket that pops up on a date that seems too good to be true, it probably is because they're always uploaded on the wrong. So just be really savvy. If you need help with navigating that sort of stuff, we are open to that. But again, we are not in a position where we can buy tickets. So holler at us if you need help with using the system with a capital S.
Yeah.
Other than that, Godspeed. Your behavior is incredibly important because you are riding along on someone else's name and someone else's fan club that they have paid for. So just be aware of your actions and your visibility and play by the rules, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on to
right.
scalpers.
Dodgy.
Our dodgy middle-aged men friends who don't
Yaji's.
exist anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
you
still
don't
there.
understand
Like
them as
forever.
much
Yeah,
anymore.
we actually, Mimi and we saw a scalping.
Fukuoka.
Yeah, in Fukuoka. How are they doing it, do you think?
I think they're sending the fan club membership to you and log in.
It was under a bridge, wasn't it?
No, when we met, they were on the pedestrian crossing, the bridge.
Just chilling.
You're like, tickets.
Tickets, QR codes. Yeah. So our good friends, the scalpers, they're not bad guys. Just quietly, they can help you in a pinch. Occasionally, they will enter under the ticket and they will walk up to someone and give them an arena ticket and then walk out of the dome. We know several people actually that's happened to mid-concert. Just be wary. I think if you're dealing with scalpers in any capacity, just keep your wits
dodgy.
about you. The number one thing with scalpers is know the worth of the tickets.
Yes.
So have the site that we were talking about before, have that open and say, well, mate, you've told me this much. How about this much?
Yeah, with scalpers you can haggle. You can say,
You can.
I
they're
have
just trying to
this
get rid of
much.
them.
You can suck your teeth
Yeah.
and,
I have this quick story that for Genki, it's a Saturday concert. I only have this specific amount of money, and then it's 5 minutes before the concert. I'm going down the stairs, and then the old man is there is asking if you want to buy a ticket. My friend told me, yeah, buy it. Come on, you have this money. You can just pay for that much. And then I told him I only have Ichiman, and I said, okay, I have tickets here in the stands at Ichiman. And then when I checked the ticket, that it's like I walked 3 paces out of him, and I checked the ticket because this is not the QR code time yet. I checked the ticket, and it's like it's not the ticket we discussed. And I went back to him. It's like, hey, sir, this is not the ticket you told me. I say, okay, arena, boom. And then they gave me an arena, which is like 3 seats away from the moving stage. So I'm just like, they're doing this thing, and I'm just there alone, not even prepared. I didn't even have a pen light and so on because I was just there to buy goods. And it's like, Nishiki's in front of me, Maru's in front of me, Baru's swinging his hips in front of me. And like, there we go.
Your last resort is holding a placard. I would never recommend doing this. I don't have the balls to do it. Apparently Zach does.
One time I offered a ticket to a girl who was holding a sign, and she haggled with me. I wasn't trying to make her pay, like, I wasn't trying to make a profit. I was trying to sell her this ticket for face value. And she haggled with me, and I was like, bitch, you're out here holding a sign. No, this has happened to me twice.
What? Okay.
Once at a cartoon concert in, like, 2011.
Yes, cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah,
cartoon.
and then once at Genki, maybe, in Nagoya. I remember it was in Nagoya. And I had an extra ticket. And there was a girl with a sign, and I was like, oh, do you want this one? And she looked at it, and she was like, oh, no, not stands.
No, picky for me who has done it and successfully did it. That day, it was a junior day. It's not Kanchani. I did it for juniors. There's 3 shows in a day. I stood there for like the whole day. I did 3 versions of a black card. Okay.
Did you get tickets?
Yes, I got tickets. One version is that I was right. I wrote that I wanted to. I'm buying tickets. There it is, and then thank you very much in a cat, in the black card, 6 tones. And then the next version is that I put there, I want to buy tickets, and there's a side note, I haven't seen 6 tones live yet. Please sell me the tickets. And there's like, it's in the Sakajo Hall. I stood up on the bridge.
Yeah.
It's not a good space. I stood up and then I redid my placard saying that I haven't seen 6 tones. I want to see 6 tones. This is my favorite member. I can pay until this much in the placard. And then I stood up in front of the JR station in Osaka Joe. And what do you call that? A girl came up to me. I said, I don't care where it is as long as I am inside. She said she has extra tickets for Tachimi, which is the standing at the very top of this on the sky, and in the sky, and it's like, good, fine. I specified that I can pay this until this much as long as I'm there to watch the show. I don't care. And I got tickets. It's just so sad that there are other people who's holding placards that are actually scalpers.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing.
There are girls who are in connivance with the scalpers they buy tickets, and then the scalpers will sell it to other people who's looking for tickets.
Sometimes you see, like, on Twitter, like, oh, don't sell your ticket to this girl because she's going and handing them off to Oji-sans.
Yeah.
Part 2, we will go into things like...
We will enter the dome.
We'll enter the dome, yes.
Yeah,
That's a good way to put it.
We're just still on the process.
We're standing on the bridge talking to the Oji-san right
now.
So we'll talk about what to wear, which is going to be my topic, I guess, because I'm so invested in that aspect. Uchiwas, where to buy the stuff for Uchiwas, buying goods, what to expect before the con, decorum. We'll give you a decorum lesson, and what have you. So hopefully this was a little bit informative for you guys. Again, reach out to us if you need a little bit more help when the concert comes running
of course,
towards us.
The only way that you should ever attend a Johnny's concert is through buying a ticket through the fan club.
Yeah, or Ticketpia or...
Yes, of course.
Yes, please.
That's the only way that we have ever attended a Johnny's concert.
We have only ever gone to a concert. We're fucked now. We're fucked now. We're going to get taken off Spotify again. Let's move on to our regular segment, the Rolling Coaster Shuffle. Everyone pause for a kia. This week's Rolling Coaster Shuffle is Zoe. Zoe was an album track from the album Kanjanism, which came out in 2013. It was written by Takahashi Yu, aka the dude that does Okura's radio show with him. The first live performance was at the Kanjanism tour, and it was not a band song. We
were robbed.
We were, yes. But we all had the distinct impression that it was supposed to be a band song, and at the very last minute it was pulled, and then it was subsequently performed as a band song at Entertainment and Entertainment Jam. It was also at Met Rock. They performed it at their appearance at Met Rock to great acclaim, and it also made an appearance at Greatest in Taipei.
Yes.
So Zoe.
Yeah. Remember, I was babbling about it last week when I was like half dizzy, half whatever.
Yeah, Zach got really sick on a bus.
Yeah, and she was like going crazy.
I just love Zoe so much. Anyway, so Zoe, I think universally, it's one of the few songs that everyone loves. I've never met anyone who doesn't love Zoe.
It's about Dumbo, that's why.
Yeah, it's an allegory.
It's their animal series continuing.
Yes, I love
the
the
lion, now the elephant.
Weren't the lyrics written about them? Because I do not know the English translation.
It seems to be following the story of the lion. So like Space Lion and now Zoe. So it's kind of like the story of Dumbo but applied to Kanjani 8, which is kind of cool when you think about it, because it is kind of like Dumbo in on itself is an allegory. Go see the new Dumbo films.
It's about
Tim Burton. This is not sponsored by Disney.
No, it's about like I got the feel of the story being like, you are powerful, but why are you scared of doing things and getting out of the box?
Yeah.
You are an elephant. You're bigger than anyone else. Why let the man put you down or something like that?
So it's a really nice joining song, I think, with Space Lion. Like Space Lion at the time was about how we can't do this without each other, aka our friends. And Zoe's like, why are you afraid of being who you are supposed to be, which is
a big elephant.
That's Okra. He's a skinny elephant right now. So I think it's, as it stands, it seems to be a song that is going to continuously pop up on set lists. One, because of popularity, and two, because they legitimately seem to get a lot out of it, which is
and they love performing it, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's got such a vibe about it. Like it's so aggressive, but it's you peel it back a little bit, and it's aggressive, but it's also really quite emotional. So it's not like a rock song for the sake of being a rock song. It's got this real heart to it, which is, I think, why it's a perfect Kanjani band song.
It's not really someone who, the message of the story and what I feel about it. It's like a person encouraging another person. That's why it has the heart of it. It's like it has the power. It's like, hey, what are you doing? Get it, snap out of it. Come on. There you go.
I think it was really important when they played it at Met Rock. No one expected it at Met Rock, and then it popped up. Like everyone was expecting like Kate Ni and Space Line, and then here comes Zoe, and everyone in the audience is just like,
now me wants to watch Met Rock now.
Yeah, too bad we've never had a full.
Yeah.
That's a real bummer.
We have only add-ons anyways.
How about you, Mimi?
Since I didn't really understand, I just love the whole vibe of the song, and I feel really grateful to Takahashi Yu for making this song for them, because it's they're gonna sing and perform this even in their 50s. It's really just a good song overall. It's not an idol song at all.
I think that's the perfect way of putting it. It's not an idol song, not at all. And I think we were like in Taipei, because I think we were so terrified they were going to bring out Kung Fu Fighting. Anything they did was a surprise. So the Taipei crowd, who
went off.
They went off. Like, the saying of it tore the roof off the building. Like, I feel like it really did, because the Taipei crowd were incredibly vocal and appreciative that they were even there. And then to have that song played for them was just it was magical. Like it was absolutely magical, and they felt it. And so the performance was just like, it was kinetic. Like it was like this kinetic energy where everyone's body slamming each other, and no one's really even paying attention to the group. Like they were all just really in the moment. And I think it's one of the few Kanjani songs at a concert that
They move more than they should.
Well, that's another thing there.
To be honest, I mean, it's everyone really goes off, I think.
Yeah.
Like everyone really.
Yeah.
I go crazy during Zoe.
So
Yeah.
I was alone during that DVD filming day. I was there. I was alone, away from Zach and other friends. But I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna go crazy.
yeah.
You can't not,
It's
I
like-
think.
Yeah.
It's like even with the pen light, even if you're just holding the pen light, it's like you just want to like throw it in, like, yeah, this is the jam. Because like in a concert in Kanjani, you cannot really move that much, and it's just your hands who's moving. So you just put your heart into your hands and just smack the pen light to your.
There's
the
not a great
person
deal
next
of
to
space.
Yeah.
at a concert.
You get really like arm workout there during that song.
It's a song that I think if you played for someone who wasn't into idols or didn't know anything about boy bands.
They would
Yeah.
get into it.
There would be.
You can recommend it to people who like music in general.
Yes.
Listen to this song. Rock
Yeah.
fan. Who's it by? Kanjani 8! Run away.
Punked! You
not
just got
satisfaction.
aided.
Yeah.
You just got aided.
I like the start of it because,
Yoko.
like, especially if you don't know that it's coming.
Ugh.
And, like, you don't know that it's going to happen. And, like, it's like, boom, boom. And you're just like, fucking yes! I like that.
Dun, dun.
And Yasu's.
Yeah, we all love that.
And then everyone becomes Yasu sexual for
Yeah.
about 15 seconds. And then they realize that Ichiban is doing equally cool things.
Yeah.
And it becomes
And-
very stressful. Okay,
Yes.
so the next roller
Rolling
coaster
coaster
shuffle will
shuffle.
be drum roll.
You can add in a drum roll that you've done on your own,
Yeah.
on your thing.
Frozen Margarita!
Oh my
Senorita.
Senorita!
Oh my god, the first part of that.
It is going to be.
Okay.
All
Because of
right.
Oh my god, two really great songs in a row.
Oh, we are.
We will have
lucky.
margaritas next week
We
then.
have to have margaritas in
Yeah.
honor of
We're
Frozen
gonna have
Margarita.
frozen margaritas.
Frozen Margarita, for those of you who have no idea what we're talking
It's a
about.
B-side song.
It's a
but
It's a B-side to Hibiki.
Hibiki,
Wow.
which Amanda's opinions about Hibiki are eventually going to come out because that bitch is going to get into the roller coaster shuffle, and I'm already mad. But Frozen Margarita was performed in Kanjanism and was easily the best part of the concert. There's like this. No, we'll talk about it next
Yeah.
week. I'm so excited.
I'll have to watch it. Oh, yeah.
All right. So, any last words, ladies?
No words for me. I just looking forward for the balloting of the tickets.
Yep.
Good luck to us all.
Good luck to us all. Yes.
Yes.
All
May the
right.
force be with us.
Yes.
All right, that's it for another week. Thank you so much for listening. As always, we have had a lot of fun doing this. We miss you, Irene, but she shall be back
Yes,
in
she
our
will.
next episode.
Pause to
ma-
splice in Irene's laugh.
No.
There is Irene's laugh to make everyone feel happy because we miss her so. As always, make sure that you follow us on Twitter at JamLadies, Instagram jam.ladies, and we are available on Spotify. Yes, we are. Oh, trust me. And iTunes. Yes, we are. Trust me. Had a bit of a fight about that last week, but we shan't go into it because apparently people are listening. And if you could give us 5 stars and subscribe on iTunes, it helps us very much in the search rankings and makes us visible to all the Johnny's fans who perhaps want to hear our bullshit. So until next time, we are the Jam Ladies. Kanjani Eito. Bye.
Bye.